Thank you for staying with us right here on Good Morning Namibia as we now take a look at the road and traffic conditions right here in the capital. Joining me is Sergeant Lahia Haitota from the City Police to let us in on what is happening on our roads. Good morning, Sergeant, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you so much. Very good morning to you and good morning, Namibia.
So, Sergeant, how are our roads looking today?
Our roads are more or less the same as yesterday, not so bad. Starting with the area of Katutura Commerce Town, we still have the two intersections that are completely off. These roads are all intersecting with NS Peter Nanyemba Road, that is Hereford Street as well as Rensburger Street. Automatically, these intersections becomes a four-way stop. The golden rule of first come, first go applies. Now, we still have roadworks in Evelyn Street, that is between Haimbanga Service Station and Sianda Court. Now, looking at the road closure in this area, we only have one, that is Machiche Road and Kingsley Road towards NES Peter Nanyemba Road. And then looking at the eastern side of the city, which is CBD City South, all our traffic lights are reported to be well functioning in this area. We still have roadworks in Aviation Road and Hours Road. Although the road is open, it's still under construction, so our drivers should drive with caution when approaching that intersection. And then the road closure, we have two in this area, that is Casino Street in the city center, as well as Western Bypass in Bent Carson Street, which is closed due to a road construction. Now, when we are looking at the message of the day this morning, pedestrian safety, it's still a concern within the city. And then we continue to record now accidents that are involving pedestrians, and both now minors as well as adults. And unfortunately, again, one life was lost over the weekend due to this. Now, despite the ongoing education as well as engagement efforts and fines that have been issued to drivers, we still continue to record these accidents, and one of the most contributing factor when it comes to this is the speed that our drivers are driving. And even though we have the speed limit, which is in an urban area, is 60 kilometers per hour, with an exception now to Western Bypass, which is 80 kilometers per hour, we still have drivers that are driving 80 kilometers per hour in a 60 kilometer zone. So now in terms of pedestrian safety, we are advising our people that are on foot to always apply the golden rule that we learned when we were very, very little. Before you cross the road, obviously you look left, right, and then left again before crossing. And do not always assume that the driver can see you, even though you have the right of way in terms of the traffic lights or the pedestrian crossing. Please just make sure that the driver comes to a standstill and they can see you. Make eye contact before you cross, and always pay attention. Especially on roads where drivers are driving fast. We have roads like Hosea Kutako Drive, we have Western Bypass Road, we have NES Peter Nanyemba Road, and some portions of Independence Avenue. Even though the speed limit in some of those roads is 60 kilometers per hour, we have drivers that are driving beyond that, and do not also underestimate the speed of the vehicle. Some people underestimate, thinking that the driver might slow down or the vehicle is still far, and they just cross without actually making sure that this vehicle is coming to a stop, or just wait for the vehicle to cross. And that is why now most of these fatalities are coming from. And as we are approaching winter, 7 o'clock is still very, very dark. Those that are walking on foot, try to wear visible clothing at all times so that you are visible, especially in roads that are not so well lit. We have roads that are dark. And then we are also discouraging the use of cell phones. While you are crossing the road, you are busy on the cell phone, or you are wearing your headphones or earphones. And also this helps you now to obviously respond safely. You are able to see, hear, and respond, obviously, if you are approached with a situation where you are expected to stop or even go back. There's also an issue where when you are caught up in traffic, you are crossing the road, then you realize that the vehicle is coming. So most of the pedestrians, what they do, they try to go back. The driver will obviously go to the side where you are coming from, because they assume you are proceeding where you are going. So you end up now being bumped by the vehicle because you try to go back. The driver is going where you are coming from. And so it's always advisable that if you see that the vehicle is really fast and you are found in the middle of the road, please just try to run. Proceed forward so that when the driver tries to escape you, at least you are on the other side of the road. And in terms of now drivers, our drivers are distracted. They are not paying attention to the road at all. Some of them are on their phones, for whatever reason, and by the time they realize that there's somebody is trying to cross the road, it's already too late. So we are advising them to always keep their eyes on the road at all times, especially in areas where there is high volume of pedestrians. These are now school zones and residential areas, and they should by all means just yield to pedestrians. We have also pedestrian crossings. We have traffic lights where there's a time for pedestrians to cross, but some of them, they do not adhere. They just drive through. They can see the person is trying to cross at the pedestrian crossing. They don't give the right of way. And they should also be reminded that you can be given a fine for failing to give a right of way to a pedestrian. And also they should remember that all these moving violations that they are committing in terms of failing to give a right of way, the speed, it can also be recorded through our CCTV cameras, and one can be given a fine or will be given a fine if you are caught, obviously, contravening any of these road rules. And lastly, they should adhere to their speed limit at all times. And we know that the speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour, but now in some areas where there are no pedestrian crossing, or you can see there's a lot of movement in terms of kids as well as adults, even for that matter, reduce your speed to even 30 kilometers per hour. In an event where somebody just comes out of nowhere and jump on the road, at least you are able to respond safely without causing harm to yourself or the person on the road. And we should also just remind our pedestrians that it's not only the responsibility of the drivers, unfortunately, to be mindful of us as pedestrians, but it's also us as pedestrians to also make sure that we take extra care not to become victims of these accidents. And that is all that I have for you, or we have for you rather, this morning. For any police assistance, please feel free to call us on our direct line, which is 061-290-3339, or our toll-free number, which is 061-302-302, or you can always send us an SMS via our SMS line, which is 4444.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Haitota, for that very comprehensive report on what is happening in our roads.
Thank you.